From independent music station KEXP, you're listening to In Our Headphones, a podcast about the songs that we just can't stop listening to. This is Evie Stokes, and this week I'm talking with DJ Abbie.
For those that may not know me, I haunt you every Wednesday, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. Pacific time. So if you can't sleep, come hang with me or in the archive.
Haunting sounds so sinister, and you're the nicest person I know.
Isn't it great? Can't you hear the joy in my voice with the haunting?
I can. It's a good juxtaposition. Okay, so Abbie, you have a few songs that you would love to share with us today, a couple things that you can't stop listening to. What's your first pick?
Okay, my first pick is Ela Minus. I'm obsessed with Upwards from her new album, Dia.
So this is Ella's first release since the 2020 album Acts of Rebellion, which is something I listened to a ton during quarantines, lockdowns, and really love that album. Did you listen to it a bunch too?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like on my top 10 list that year. Mm-hmm. Like Megapunk was something I constantly like blasted in the studio here. I just love, she's like a drummer originally, and then you can hear that just applied throughout that whole record. You can hear like all that club music goes with percussion first, and I'm just like, yes, give that to me. I need this in 2020, and it was so cool to have that just, injected in this new record, Dia, as well.
Yeah.
She has an amazing way of sharing, like, stuff that's vulnerable and personal to her, but also putting it to club music. Mm-hmm. And I'm here for that because I just want to dance it out. And she makes it happen with this.
And the beat on this is incredible.
It's so good.
It's really, really good. And it was cool to read sort of what Ella had to say about this, that it was a song for safeguarding yourself, your body, and your soul.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like a club song.
The ultimate boundary setter.
Yeah, love that. Okay, let's take a listen. This is Ela Minus with Upwards.
Behind the veil, my mind keeps trying to bring me, but hell is hereditary. I choose the void instead. I can't trust myself. My mind keeps lying to me. My mind keeps lying to me. My mind keeps lying to me.
You just heard Upwards by Ela Minus. All right, Abbie, you got another one for us?
Yes, I do. And this one I hold very sacred in my heart because one of my favorite bands ever since 6th grade, Franz Ferdinand. I used to watch them on MTV at 2 a.m. Take Me Out, that music video.
I say, don't you know? You say you don't know. I say, take me out.
So incredible that I taped it on VHS tape and eventually went to school in Glasgow because I'm like, I just want to see their music scene. And I still carry my Franz Ferdinand fan club card from 2005.
I'd like to see that, please.
It's here. I will show you it. And, just in case I need to prove my fandom.
They had a crazy fan base.
Oh.
My sister was in that too.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
waiting outside the tour buses for them to come out at every single concert that she could get to. Yeah.
See, and I was in Iowa, so I was just deprived. And I was like, oh, I wish I could go. And then I've seen them so many times since. And it's always this fun little return to the joy of my CD wallet back then, where I'm like, oh, yeah, I just want to be around live music all the time. And this new record that they have, I know they've changed members since, but this still has that electric energy that they have, of just kind of 80s Glasgow bands. There's a little bit of Orange Juice in there, but also there's a little Devo thing happening in this song, The Doctor. The Human Fear, each track kind of highlights something that everyone can resonate with, and The Doctor is definitely one of them, because that's one of my fears.
I did when I was looking through the lyrics for this, though. It looks like he's using those lyrics. He's
trying to get attention.
Yeah, and he's using the doctor as a way to talk about somebody that he really wants that attention from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just find that so funny, that he just takes those fears, but he's like, oh, I actually really am scared of this. And I just find it so enjoyable. It's so bouncy, and It just brings me back to their live shows that I have so much fun at.
The thing with Franz Ferdinand, in my opinion, is that they are so unmistakably Franz Ferdinand.
Exactly.
You know immediately that it's that band when you hear them.
Indeed. And I'm just like, yes, this is what I want.
And they're still doing it.
Exactly.
Okay, here's Franz Ferdinand with The Doctor.
Well, I said to the doctor, I don't want to go home. I think you ought to leave this trip alone. Well, I've become accustomed to this level of attention. I have nurses I can talk to and thermometers to hold. Though I feel just a little bit better, I could feel so much better. Can't you see?
So Franz Ferdinand is going to be coming to KEXP soon, performing live in our live room on Sunday, March 23rd. It's at 3 p.m. Abbie, will you be there?
Most likely.
Yeah.
I already have tickets to their show in Vancouver, so I'm so prepared.
I think here's the deal. I think you should show up and have your fan club card with you.
Yeah.
And just show them.
Just show it. Be
Yeah.
like, does this get me in?
I think
Does this still work?
I feel like it's cool for musicians to hear that you impacted their life as a sixth grader, right?
Yeah.
And it led you to Glasgow, and then it led you here to be a DJ. Like that could mean something.
Okay, I'll try and
Okay.
get the courage and be like, I'm cool.
Please think I'm cool.
Please think I'm cool.
So also joining us in the studio today is KEXP's music director, Chris Sanley. So Chris, you listen to hundreds of songs a week, so much music all the time. And I want to know what's been in your headphones lately.
So one I really keep going back to is this really fantastic new album from the Chicago multidisciplinary artist Damon Locks. And like the album artwork already just kind of gives you a picture as to what this record is going to be. And that's this masterclass in collage work. He's really weaving together these different samples and field recordings to highlight his poetry. And you've got, sonically some jazz, some hip hop, some electronic elements, some punk, and it's just a total patchwork of basically everything you can imagine. And the song Click from this new album, List of Demands, was my first introduction to this project and just had me hooked. And I really believe that this is like the centerpiece of the album. And it's kind of in these three different parts, each that are kind of broken up by this looping sample of the repeating phrase, "Don't panic." And so you have part one, which is yesterday, I woke up in a panic. And that's essentially kind of like dissecting how threat is all around you. And then you hear the don't panic, don't panic. And then you've got part two, which is today, I woke up in a panic. And that stanza really kind of explores how mass media consumption has distorted our perception of reality. And with a lot of like strategically placed distractions, it's nearly impossible to stay informed. And then you hear the don't panic, just kind of a nice mantra that I think we all need in times like these. And then you have the third and final stanza, which is tomorrow I will wake up in a panic. And that's really kind of reflecting on the danger of indifference and how essential art and music and communication and community are during in these times of chaos. And so it's a really deeply powerful song that just highlights his poetry and storytelling so well. And I really can't get enough of it. It's just phenomenal.
What a perfect song for the year 2025. Huh?
Truly.
Just an undercurrent of panic.
Yeah. And these are like the reminders that we need. It's just like stay informed, but like don't panic. Like,
Right.
Keep your people around you, stay informed, stay together, and click.
And what's Damon's story? Like, where's Damon from?
So he's from Chicago, and he's a visual artist. He's a poet. He's a musician. Like, you name it, if it's creative, like Damon Locks is going to have some kind of creative outlet with it. And I want to do a lot more digging into his back story and back history, but he's involved in a lot of different music projects based out of Chicago, and does solo work as well. So this is his latest solo project. So when he's speaking of this album, Damon Locks says, "List of demands is not just my list. This list is in conveyance, in response, and in honor of all of those great black speakers that turned a phrase to generate movement and change." And that's just like, that's this album in a nutshell.
All right, let's listen to Damon Locks' new song, Click, from the new album, List of Demands.
The threat is all around you. Sincerely yours. Today, I wake up in a panic. A panic where lines of digital distortion travel, cracked screens scrambling the information. The red and blue flashes of color are happening.
You can find all the music featured on In Our Headphones on both Spotify and YouTube, or visit KEXP.org. KEXP is an independent, nonprofit radio station, and this podcast, along with all of our programming, is made possible because of the generous support of our listeners. If you'd like to give to KEXP, you can do so at KEXP.org. And if you enjoy In Our Headphones, please write us a review wherever you get your podcasts. In Our Headphones is hosted by me, Evie Stokes, and produced by Lilly Anna Fowler. Audio was mastered by William Myers, and our creative director of editorial is Larry Mizell Jr. If you have feedback, you can reach us at headphones@kexp.org. See you next week.
It's all good.